boy in Sao Paulo, Brazil, was accused of killing his police officer parents, his grandmother and great-aunt before spending a full day at school and then taking his own life. Police believe 13-year-old Marcelo Pescini shot each victim in the head with a .40 caliber pistol. Police Sergeant Luz Marcelo Pescini, 40, wife Andrea Regina, 36, grandmother Benedita, 65, and great-aunt Bernadette, 55, were all killed in bed. According to Marcelo's best friend, the teenager said he wanted to kill his parents and become a hitman. He appears to have taken sinister inspiration from the infamous Amityville killings, with the killings bearing chilling similarities to the 1974 DeVille murders. In 2009, 15-year-old Alyssa Bustamante used her little sister as bait to lure a 9-year-old girl away from her home and into a secluded, wooded area. The girl, a neighbor named Elizabeth Olton, had come over to play with her sister, and Bustamante ran into her while she was walking home. She lured her into the woods and proceeded to brutally attack Olton. She stabbed her in the chest, strangled her, and sliced her throat, all because she wanted to know what killing someone felt like. She left the girl's body in a shallow grave she covered with leaves. She then wrote in her diary, "I just fucking killed someone. I strangled them and slit their throat and stabbed them, now they're dead. I don't know how to feel at the moment." It was amazing. As soon as you get over the "oh my god I can't do this" feeling, it's pretty enjoyable. I'm kinda nervous and shaky though right now. I gotta go to church now. Bustamante later confessed to having dug 2 graves, which suggested that her twin brothers may have been the initial target. She is currently serving a life sentence. Three members of the Richardson family were murdered in Medicine Hat, Alberta in April 2006. The murders were planned and committed by the family's 12-year-old daughter, and her 23-year-old boyfriend Jeremy Steinck, now going by the name Jackson May. Naturally, her parents did not approve of the match, but Jasmine's retaliation for their objection was brutal in the extreme. In April 2006, Jasmine and her boyfriend murdered her parents, Mark and Deborah Richardson, as well as her 8-year-old brother Jacob. Tragically, the murderous pair later confessed that little Jacob pleaded for his life as his sister knifed him in the chest, crying, "I'm scared. I'm too young to die." Jasmine has now been released and, as of 2011, was attending college in Canada. Quiet Muskegon, Michigan was rocked with a quintuple murder in November of 1988 when the Privaki family was all gathering for Thanksgiving dinner. While the rest of the family prepared for the meal, 18-year-old son Seth went on a rampage with his father's .22 caliber Ruger. He methodically shot the entire family. He first shot his older brother who was watching TV in the living room, then murdered his father and grandfather as they arrived back home from running errands. His mother was shot after she got out of the shower, and then, after his girlfriend showed up unannounced and witnessed the aftermath of Seth's murder spree, she was shot too. After calling a friend to help him stage the crime scene to look like a robbery, Seth's plan hit another snag when his girlfriend's parents showed up and witnessed the pair moving the bodies. Seth ran, but was captured the next day, confessing to his crimes and explaining that he killed his father for threatening to kick him out of the house, and the rest of the family for not sticking up for him. Seth was convicted and given a life in prison, which apparently didn't agree with him. On July 15, 2010, he was shot to death during a failed attempt to escape. One of the United Kingdom's most shocking cases of a child killing a parent, 14-year-old Daniel Bartlam's parents divorced when he was 9. And over the next 5 years his behavior became increasingly disturbing. He developed an obsession with horror movies, became increasingly reclusive and began posting violent clips online. Furthermore, he developed a knack for writing extremely gory short stories, which he would show his mother, Jackie, with great delight. On Easter Sunday, 2011, his madness reached a new level and Daniel decided to commit what he saw as the perfect murder by killing his own mother. After mowing the lawn and indulging in some Easter chocolate, Daniel proceeded to sneak into his mother's bedroom and smash her head in with a claw hammer. Hoping to destroy evidence, he then covered his mother's dead body with paper, doused it in gasoline and lit her ablaze. Daniel was caught after emergency crews responding to the blazing home found a murder weapon in his bedroom. He's currently serving life in prison. Terry King lay on his couch, dead. His house was alight, with flames licking the walls. Forensic investigators discovered King's skull had been cracked open and half his face had been smashed in. Terry's sons, Alex, aged 12, and Derek, 13, soon confessed to police. They claimed it was Alex's idea to kill their father, but that Derek had delivered the killer blow after Terry King fell asleep and Alex bashed his head at least 10 times with an aluminum baseball bat. They then set the house on fire in the hope of destroying evidence. They were the youngest children in Florida to be charged with murder. The boys told police they had met an acquaintance of their father's by the name of Rick Chavez, with whom they developed an intimate relationship. Police found a letter written by Alex describing his forever love for Chavez. "Before I met Rick I was straight but now I am gay," he wrote. Police linked Chavez to the murder. He was accused of hiding the boys for 2 days after the incident, and indicted on first-degree murder, arson, evidence tampering and sexual battery of a child. At Chavez's trial, the boys claimed he wanted them to move in with him, but the only way that could happen was if Terry was dead. Derek was sentenced to 8 years in prison, Alex to 7, and they have both since been released. Chavez was found guilty as an accessory to murder and for tampering with evidence. He is now serving a 35-year sentence. While there has always been a great deal of political and racial distrust surrounding the Stinney case, it's widely accepted that despite the uproar over executing such a young boy, George Junius Stinney did in fact kill 2 young girls. It was 1944, and Stinney was a 14-year-old, 90-pound black boy who followed 2 white girls, 11 and 8 years old, into a ravine. He apparently wanted to rape the 11-year-old, but couldn't do so with the younger girl present. He decided to remove her, and that meant killing her. Both girls fought him, but he grabbed a large railroad spike and began bludgeoning them to death, repeatedly striking their heads with a heavy iron. He was charged with first-degree murder the very next day, but had to be removed from town under threat from local townsmen who wanted to lynch him. He was put to death in Columbia, South Carolina later that year. George Junius Stinney, Jr. was, at age 14, the youngest person executed in the United States in the 20th century. Eric David Harris 18 and Dylan Bennett Lebold 17 were the 2 American high school seniors who committed the Columbine High School massacre. The pair killed 13 people and injured 24 others, 3 of whom were injured as they escaped the attack. The 2 then committed suicide in the library, where they had killed 10 of their victims. Journal entries and homemade videos documented the shooters' carefully planned massacre that included setting off bombs in the cafeteria during lunchtime, which they hoped would kill hundreds of students and they'd shoot survivors as they ran out of the school. Their original plan failed because the explosives didn't detonate, causing the boys to enter the school shooting. Harris and Lebold were known as outcasts and were often bullied. Although there was no clear-cut reason behind the horrific massacre, the boys were angry with society and wanted to kill those who annoyed them. The Chardon High School shooting occurred on February 27, 2012, at Chardon High School in Chardon, Ohio, United States. 3 male students died within the 2 days following the incident. 2 other students were hospitalized. While rumors of a warning of the event having been posted on the internet circulated, student witnesses identified the shooter as Thomas T. J. Lane III, a 17-year-old juvenile. Although police were initially hesitant to publicly identify the juvenile after he was apprehended, by the evening of February 28, authorities confirmed that the suspect was Lane. The weapon Lane used in the shooting was a .22 caliber handgun. After the shooting occurred, Lane reportedly left the building. Witnesses stated he was chased from the building by a teacher, and was arrested a short time later in a location outside the school. On March 19, 2013, Lane was sentenced to 3 life sentences in prison without parole. After entering the courtroom, he took off his dress shirt to reveal a white t-shirt underneath which had the word "killer" handwritten across the front. He smiled and smirked during the hearing. After being sentenced, Lane said to the victims' families in the courtroom, "This hand that pulled the trigger that killed your sons now masturbates to the memory. Fuck all of you," while giving the middle finger. On September 11, 2014, Lane escaped from Allen Oakwood Correctional Institution in Lima, Ohio, along with 2 other inmates but captured near the woods within 5 hours. A 13-year-old shot his own mother more than 20 times after a failed attempt to rape her in a row over a ban on the Call of Duty video game, a U.S. court heard. The jury in the murder trial of Noah Crooks heard a disturbing 911 call during which the teenage accused, from Iowa, can be heard pouring his heart out about the killing. Noah Crooks, now 15, has been charged with first-degree murder and assault with intent to commit sexual abuse on March 24, 2012. The victim was his 37-year-old mother, Gretchen Crooks, who had taken away his Call of Duty video game because he got bad grades in school, it was said. The court heard Crooks admit that it was because of the game being taken away that he snapped. In the 911 recording made on the night of the murder at the family's home in Osage, Iowa, Crooks can be heard telling the operator, "I'm not joking at all. She's dead. I'm scared. I killed my mom with my .22. I don't know why I did it." Police responding to the call found the woman shot 20 times, according to Mitchell County Sheriff's Office. Even he texted his dad, who was out of town, later in the evening of the murder, "Dad, this is Noah. I killed Mom accidentally. I regret it. Come home now please." His dad thought he was joking and sent this text in return, "Okay. Just throw her in the grove. We'll take care of her later." Williams Crooks said his son once told him he wanted to kill his mother, but he didn't take it seriously. Noah said, "I feel crazy and I know I'm not. I think I have some form of ADD. I tried to rape her. But I couldn't do it. Who tries to rape their own mom? My life is down the drain now." He went on to say, "I just wish it was a dream so I could wake up and I could kiss her and hug her."